All right, this is our Unit 6.1 test review. It's our factoring test review. We are going to get started. Okay, so, sorry, I'm picking up my pins. Okay, first 1 through 4 just wants to find the GCF. I'm actually going to take it out, so I'm not just going to find it, but I'm going to take it out. So again, I'm going to always look at my smallest number. Does 9 go into 36? And if we're unsure, we can divide. So we could do 36 divided by 9, and it does. It gives me a pretty number. So 9 goes into 36, therefore 9 is my GCF. Now, this has an X, this has a Y. Yes, they're both squared, but they're different letters, so those are not GCFs. Therefore, 9 is my GCF. And when I take 9 out, 36 divided by 9, we just did, it gave us 4. So we're left with 4x squared plus y squared. So now let's look at number 2. So this has a coefficient of 2. This has a coefficient of, I would say nothing, but it's technically of 1 and of 1. So I can take out a 1 or I can take out no number. Okay, now I'm going to look at my letters. They all have A, B's, and C's. So I need to figure out how many I can take. So remember, you're looking at which one has the smallest amount, because this one has 3, this one has 2, this one has 2. I'm looking at A's. I cannot take 3 away from somebody who only has 2. But I can take 2 away from somebody who only has 3. However, I do need to check the order. So this is a degree of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because remember, we check the order per term. So this is a term, this is a term, this is a term. So this is a degree of 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a degree of 6. 2, 4, 5. And 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is in order. So we're good. Okay, so now look for a GCF. So a cubed, a squared, a squared. So I can take out a squared because I can take 2 away from 3, but I cannot take 3 away from 2. We don't want to create negatives because then we have fractions, and then we're not taking out a GCF anymore. Okay. And now I have b squared, just b. So I can only take out a b because I can't take 2 when I only have 1. And then I have c squared, so I'm just going to take c. So it's a squared bc, a squared bc, a squared bc. So that's my GCF. And when I take that out, I'm left with 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, and the c's cancel. Bring down my minus. A squared cancels. 2 minus 1 is 1. C's cancel. Minus a squared cancels. B's cancel. 2 minus 1 is 1. Now, remember, if everything cancels, so if you had like a squared bc over a squared bc, that does not equal 0. That does not go away. Yes, everything cancels. So it would equal 1. Okay. Let's look at number 3. When the numbers, match, that's your GCF. Because 6 goes into 6, 6 is your GCF. Now, they both have an X, and again, you take out your smallest. This was 1, this one's 3, so I take out 1. So 6x is my GCF. Okay, so when I take that out, the 6 is canceled. 3 minus 1 is 2. Remember, you subtract your exponents. And then when everything cancels, that's what I was just talking about, and bring down my minus. It's not 0. It's 1. Anything divided by itself equals 1. So this is my answer. Okay, last one. This is AM, this is a 1, this is a 2, so I don't have to take out a number. But they both have an A, so I'm going to take out an A. And they are in order because this is a degree of 2, degree of 2. So when I take out an A, I'm left with m minus 2n. Now just a reminder, if you have a negative at the front, you have to take out a negative. But none of these had a negative at the front, so we didn't have to worry about that. Okay, so that's GCFs. However, we're not done with GCFs because we should always, when factoring, check for a GCF first. but those were just GCFs. Okay, so now we're actually factoring. Okay, so the exciting thing we remember is that when A is 1, we only have to do the X, but when A is not 1, we have to do the box. Okay, remember I've told you I don't care which method you use as long as you're showing all your work. If there's no work shown though, you get no credit, even if it's the right answer. So I have A, B, C, because there's no GCF and it is in order. A is 1, B is 7, C is 6. A times C is 6, B is 7. Well, what multiplies to give me 6, but adds to give me 7? Well, 1 times 6. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. So those are my numbers. And since A was 1, that's all I had to do. So what times what gives me x squared is just x times x. And this is a positive 1, positive 6. Remember, you can check your work. You don't have to, but that's on you. You can come here and you could type what was given to you, so x squared plus 7x plus 6. And you could type what you came up with, so x plus 1, x plus 6. And you see how everything in y1, y2 matches? That means I did it correctly. Okay, so let's look at number 6. So same concept. It's in order. There's no GCF, so let's just find our A, B, and C. A is 1, B is negative 10, C is 9. A times C is 9, B is negative 10. So what multiplies to give you positive 9 and adds to give you negative 10? Well, anything that multiplies to give you a positive and adds to give you negative is going to be a double negative. And since it's one more than that, it's going to just be 1 and 9. And you can always double check it too if you didn't want to do the calculator trick. You do negative 1 times negative 9. Gave me positive 9. Negative 1 plus negative 9. Gave me negative 10. I did it correctly. Oop. There you go. You can see it better here. Ooh. Okay. So because A is 1, I don't have to do the box. So y times y is y squared. And then minus 1, minus 9. That makes it harder to see the calculator, so we'll just keep the light off. Okay, so now let's start looking at some that don't have A as 1. So let's see number 7. So it's in order. 3 does not go into 11. 11 is prime, so if 3 doesn't go into it, we're done. 3 is prime also. So A, B, C. A is 3. B is negative 11, and C is negative 20. Be super careful with your negatives. If you ever can't figure out your x, always double check your negatives first, and then check if it's prime before you just say it's prime. Okay, so A times C, 3 times negative 20. And then B is negative 11. So this is one I will show y'all the calculator trick again. So you can come here and you can type your top number, divide x, top number, divide x plus x. You can go to your table and you're looking for your bottom number here. So there's a negative 11, but there's positive 11. I need negative 11. So there it is. So it's negative 15, positive 4. Now, I do have to do the box here because A is 3, so I can't just go straight into my answers, unfortunately. Now, a reminder, when your first term goes in your first box, your last term goes in your last box. I've had a lot of people trying to put their B term there. Do not do that, because remember, this is your split B. And because it's your split B, it has x behind it, so negative 15x, positive 4x. So now find GCFs. Well, does 3 go into 15? It does, so 3 is my GCF. They both have an x, so this is x. Does 4 go into 20? It does, and since this is a positive, this is going to be a positive. And again, you can also check your work here. Math right 9, 4, 20. Remember, you can't type negatives in here. tells me 4. Oop, typed it twice, sorry. Okay, now does 3 go into 4? It does not, but they have an x in common. And 3 is prime, so nothing goes into both of those. And then with negative 15 and negative 20, if you struggle with GCFs, use your calculator. So again, it's a negative box, so it's going to have a negative answer. And so remember, you have to type positives, and it's going to be 5. So my answer is 3x plus 4x minus 5. So number 8. Again, it's in order. 2 doesn't go into 5. 2 does go into 12, but it didn't go into 5, so we're 2. The only other thing is 1. It is in order, so let's just get started. A is 2, B is 5, C is negative 12. A times C is negative 24, B is 5. So again, you can use your trick, or you can just start guessing. A times 3 gives you 24, so it's actually going to be positive 8. Negative 3. And again, you can check your work. So 8 times negative 3 gave me negative 24. 8 plus negative 3 gave me positive 5. Oop, so it worked. So let's do the box. First term is 2a squared. Last term is negative 12. Split B, positive 8a, negative 3a. 2 goes into 8, so 2, and they both have an a. 3 goes into 12, and it's a negative, so it's a negative 3. 2 does not go into 3. 2 and 3 are both prime, so they both have an a. That's the only thing they have in common. If you were to type it here, it's going to tell you 1, so you can put a 1 in front. That's totally fine, but you do not have to. 8 does not go into 12, but 4 goes into both of those. And again, you could use your math, right? 9, 8, 12, and it tells you 4. So we have 2a minus 3, a plus 4. So just a reminder, like, see how this is a positive 2? Those have to be positive. Negative, this is a negative box, that has to be negative. Positive box has to be positive. So just make sure that whatever box it's touching is what represents the sign on the outside. Okay, let's look at number 9. So, again, it's in order. 3 doesn't go into 13, 3 doesn't go into 4, 3 is prime. So A is, B is 3, 13, 4. Okay, so let's just get started. A times 4, 3, and 4 takes 12. So it's going to be 1 and 12. First term goes in my first box, last term in my last box, split B. So positive 1x, positive 12x. So let's find our GCFs. 3 does not go into 1, so the only thing these have in common is our x. 4 does go into 12, so this is going to be a positive 4. 3 does go into 12, so this can be 3x. 1 does go into 4, so this is just going to be 1. And then remember, you can always check your work with multiplying. I forgot to say this earlier. So 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 4 is 12x. X times 1 is 1x. 1 times 4 is 4, so it worked. So x plus 4, 3x plus 1. So number 10 has a GCF, and it's y. Other than that, they do not have a GCF, so I have to take out that y. And it just makes them all have 1 less. So this has 7y squared plus just 15y, and then this cancels, so it's just plus 2. So I'm going to put a y down here in front of a parenthesis so I don't forget that that's still part of my answer, and then I'm going to ignore it so it doesn't throw me off. And now I'm going to find my a, b, and c. 7 times 2 is 14. B is 15. Everything's positive. When your bottom number is 1 more than your top number, it's just going to be 1 and your top number, because 1 times 14 is 14. 1 plus 14 is 15. Oh, sorry. So, knowing that, first term, not my old first term, cross that out, the new one, 7y squared plus 2, and I split these, so plus 1y plus 14y. The only thing these have in common is y, or 1y. 2 does go into 14, so this is plus 2. 7 does go into 14, so this is 7y. 1 does go into 2, so this is just plus 1. Okay, let's look at the back. Okay, it's in order. There's no GCF because 2 is my smallest number, 2 does not go into 9, and 2 is prime. Nine times negative 2 is negative 18, and that's positive 4. I don't see it, so we're going to check if it's prime. So we're going to do the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, which would be the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times 9 times negative 2. I always use parentheses, especially here, because if it's negative and you don't use a parentheses, it's not going to work. So remember, if it equals a pretty number, that means we're wrong and we need to double check our work. And it didn't. It equaled an ugly number, therefore this is prime. Please hold. Okay, so that one's prime, and we proved it because this equaled an ugly number of 9.38, so on and so forth. Okay, so now let's look at number 12. Here, 2 goes into 12, 2 goes into 16, so we do have a GCF. So we need to take it out. I take it out, I'm left with x squared plus 6x plus 8. And I'm going to write that 2 here so I don't forget it. It is still a part of my answer. A is 1, B is 6, C is 8. Remember, cross off this guy, we're using this one. Now, A is 1, so we don't have to do the box. If you didn't take out the GCF, you had to do the box. Okay, take out your GCF. So here, A times C is 8, B is 6. What multiplies to give you 8 and adds to give you 6 is going to be positive 2, positive 4. So x times x gives you x squared plus 2 plus 4. So now let's look at 13. If you're ever unsure about a GCF, you can do the Math Right 9 with 3 numbers. You can only type 2 at a time though. So 4, 28 tells you 4 is your GCF. So what you could do is you do Math Right 9, you pick this GCF, comma, your third number. So 4 is your actual GCF. So we're going to take out a 4. I think it's 7. I don't know why. Can't do that in my head. It is. So put the 4 down here so you don't forget about it. A equals 1, B equals negative 7, C equals 5. I don't know why I feel like that's not possible. double check my math. So let's see, we could do the square root of b squared. Actually, I was going to check the original to make sure. Minus 4 times a times c. It gave me ugliness, or it's not, it's prime. The inside is prime. However, we did take out our GCF. So our final answer is this. Because the inside is prime. Okay, number 14 is half done for us. This is already grouped, okay? Remember? But my y plus 1 matches, so that's my GCF, so I get to take it out. And when I take it out, I'm left with x minus 5. There is my answer. We like those. Same with number 15. It's already grouped. I have the x plus 4s that match, so I take it out because that's my GCF. And when I take it out, I'm left with 2z minus 3, and there's my answer. Now, number 16 is not grouped for me. Okay. However, this is a weird one. Group of 2. This is degree of 2, degree of 2, degree of 2, degree of 2. However, these two have nothing alike. These two have nothing alike. However, these two have something alike, and these two have something alike. So I'm going to switch the order. Plus ms plus ns plus nr is a better order. So when I do my grouping, these have an m in common, and when I take that out, I'm left with r plus s. Now here, positive in front, so take out a positive. They have an n in common, and when I take that out, now this has an s plus r. However, r plus s and s plus r are the same thing, because order doesn't matter when you're adding 2 plus 3 and 3 plus 2. Okay, it's the same thing. So I'm going to take out r plus s. And when I take that out, I'm left with m plus n. So you can reorganize to help you out. Okay, let's look at 17. Here we have a degree of 3, degree of 3, degree of 3, degree of 3, so it's in order. These do have stuff in common. These do have stuff in common. So we can leave it. So when we cut it in half, what do these have in common? They just have r. And when we take that out, actually freeze. What does the whole thing have in common? Look at me. I didn't even check. The whole thing has an r in common. So I need to take that out. So when I take that r out, I'm left with AR minus BS plus AS minus BR. However, now I have things that are not in common, so I do need to rearrange. So I'm going to do AR minus BR, so I did that one and that one, minus BS plus AS. And cut it in half. Actually, I'm going to flip these. Plus AS minus BS. So that way my AB are in order. So here, I'm going to bring my R over here. I have another R in common, so when I take that out, I'm left with A minus B. Here I have an S in common. When I take that out, I'm left with A minus B. So I have A minus B, that matches. And when I take that out, I'm left with R plus S. Sorry, that was kind of a messy one. Okay, last one of grouping. 18. So degree of 5, degree of 4, degree of 3, degree of 2. Perfect. It's in order. Cut it in half. What do we have in common? We have x to the 4th. And when we take that out, I don't think this is going to work. I don't know who made this problem. Anyways, we have 2x to the 4th, 2x to the 4th, 2x to the 4th. I think these are all supposed to be x's. I don't know. We're going to make these all x's because being different letters, it's not going to work. So look, they're all x's. You didn't even know. Okay, so we're going to take out x squared because that's a GCF of the whole thing. So when I take out x squared of all of them, I get 2x, 5 minus 2 is 3, plus 4x squared minus x minus 2. And now I cut it in half. So I have x squared down here, and now my GCF here is 2x squared. So that leaves me with just x plus 2. Here I have a negative 1, and that leaves me with x plus 2. So I have x plus 2 and 2x squared plus 1. So sorry about that one. Sometimes I make mistakes. It happens. Okay. Okay, look at number 18 and 19. So 18 and 19, this is this prime? Show all work, prove yes or no. So we have to use, remember, I know this says this, but we want to just go ahead and square root it because that'll prove it to us. So a equals b equals c equals a equals 3, b equals 1, c equals 6. So square root of 1 squared minus 4 times 3 times 6. And remember, if it equals a pretty number, it is not prime. If it equals an ugly number, it is prime. Say it says non-real answer. Error. So this is prime. So that proved to me that it's prime. So now let's try this one. A equals b equals c equals 3, 11, 6. So b squared is 11 squared minus 4 times 3 times 6. So I'm going to be a cheater. And it equaled 7. So it is not prime. This is factorable. Good luck on your test.